Well, it's a new month, boys and girls. Good morning to you. It's Sunday, the 2nd of June, 2019. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. Rather warm today, I must say. I've got the air conditioning on in here. I woke up at like 7:15. I mean, I didn't go to bed till, I don't know, about 2:30. After I come home from work, had something to eat, and went to bed after watching the latest episode of Casualty, which was very, very good. Connie Beacham needs to take control. Anyone watch Casualty on BBC One Colour on Saturday nights? There's this bloke in, time and motion. Oh, full of self-importance. And he's upsetting our Connie Beacham, darling. She needs to take control of the situation. Yes. Have him do an operation on his mouth to have it sewn up or something like that. There's a few people out there that would like to see that happen to me, I think. Well, here we are again. Chris Reardon, internet sensation and international television personality, with you once again on this Sunday. I'm surprised how many people are here on a Sunday morning this early, actually. I always sort of assume there'd be like just a handful of people just sitting there. Stranger, perhaps you're up early because it was just as warm for you in bed as it was for me this morning. I had the window open all last night. Oh, talking of which, on Friday, I have a little sleep every afternoon. Have done since I was, 21 years old. Since I worked for British Telecom, I've always had a sleep in the afternoon, a couple of hours in the afternoon. Well, I was up in the caravan, of course, on Friday. And I went to bed. I got up. I'd left the door wide open and pinned back to the side of the caravan on its little clip. Dreadful. I mean, anything could happen. Could have happened to me. Someone could have broken in and found me in my bed all alone, and terrible, terrible things could have happened. But they didn't. Maybe next time. Oh, who's here early? Let's have a look. Good morning to the delightful fellow Catholic and very, very important person at her church. Shania Steele's in the house. Good morning, Shania. All right. I gather that it's you who's going to get most of the heat today down there in the south and on the east coast there. Good morning to Mark Jones. Morning, Mark. Adam the plumber. Good morning to you. Sorry I can't get down to you today, Adam. To meet someone at 4 o'clock is quite difficult for me. I'll be like that, honestly. So I'm sorry about that, Adam. I was hoping to meet Adam to have a little look. He's got a piano for sale, which might well do my caravan. Morning to Tommy Flynn. Hello to you, sir. The Bell. Oh yeah, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised you're still up. You just finished New York on a Saturday night, haven't you? Somewhere out. Are you still drunk? Do you drink? I don't drink anymore. I haven't drunk since I was in my 20s, really. Not at all. Only a glass of champagne sometimes in the posh seats on the plane. If I go somewhere, might have a glass of champagne. That's about it. And, of course, if I go to afternoon tea, LaBelle, afternoon tea is like a British thing that me and my mate go to. We don't go to so many now because, of course, during the week I'm up north. But we still go. Our most recent one was at Claridge's hotel where I can't tell you how good it is. They just, from the moment you arrive at that front door, it starts. And you haven't got to lift a finger. You pay for it, of course. Of course you pay for it, but that doesn't matter. And I was saying to my mate yesterday, if only people... Because, of course, in America, customer services, if you ever go to America, customer services in shops, bars, pubs, restaurants, is so much better than it is here. I mean, it really is. They know how to do it. Over here, if you want decent customer services, you've got to pay for it in a posh hotel. And Claridge's know how to do it. I mean, it wouldn't go amiss to send perhaps the entire staff of Curry's or the post office or somewhere like that to Claridge's for an afternoon tea to see how they do customer services. Yes, exactly. Oh, by the way, there was a little bit of a delay for us starting this morning. You might have seen the Union flag up there for quite some time, about 30 seconds or so. Sorry, I clicked the start stream button and then completely forgot to change it to the opening film, so that's why that happened, okay, if you were wondering. Good morning to Craig McKenzie, who's in his shed this morning. Has the missus sent you into the shed, has she? Was you a naughty boy, Craig? Naughty Craig! He's been sent into the shed to sleep last night because it's been naughty. That's what I reckon, anyway. Morning to Michael Pullman. Morning to you, sir, in Australia there. Danny Gibbs is just getting ready for church as well. We're all going to church this morning. All going to church. Morning to Mike Rees-Ponto. A Sunday show. Well, now and again, yes. If I'm playing the organ, generally you don't get one because I have to leave earlier. Although that being said, if it was the day I was playing, you would have got one because I got up so early, you see. Tommy is so excited, he is unable to contain himself. Can I recommend, Tommy, if you get to that state, and a lot of people get to that state just before a show is due to start, they get overexcited. Can I recommend you sit on several copies of your favourite newspaper or something like that, you know, to absorb the moisture that might leak out of you while the excitement is building? Can I just want to? All I want to do is save your settee or your chairs. That's all I want to do. Or I'm just here to help you through your sad, lonely, pathetic life. All right, Tommy. LaBelle, terrible things you mean to them. What do you mean, LaBelle? LaBelle doesn't drink or smoke, but she loves tea. Yeah, I'm a tea drinker. I'm teetotal. English breakfast tea. Can I recommend, I don't know if you can get it there, LaBelle, Twining's English breakfast tea. Have you ever had Twining's English breakfast tea? Tell me if you've had that. Tell me if I knew that door had been left open from a fellow Catholic. Morning to the lovely Joanna. Good morning, Joanna. Oh, I might sing a song early today, Joanna, but I haven't decided yet. All right, Joanna. Morning to Joseph McDonald, who says it's another beautiful day in Mercia. Morning, Joseph. The sun is shining brightly everywhere today. It's fantastic. Had 2 lovely nights at work. A very, very busy karaoke on Friday. Although I nearly died. Quite seriously, I nearly died in a car accident on Friday. Where I come out my caravan, I leave the site, I go over a little bridge and then round, and then on a narrow road, literally, which goes between fields, which at the moment are growing barley. So the road was all right. Got to the end of the road, and you turn left onto a main road. Okay? So, you know, looking to the right, nothing coming. So I've come out, and it's a good job I didn't understeer, really. I came out, you know, turned left onto this road, and as I turned, I saw a car almost coming straight towards me. He was overtaking, or she, I don't know what was driving it, was overtaking 2 or 3 cars, but he was using the lane that allows cars to turn right to overtake them. Do you see what I mean? Now, that lane comes to the end. So that's the right lane coming into the to the road that I just exited, and I was turning left. And he was so close to me. If I had understeered a little bit, which we all do sometimes, don't we? He would have got the corner of my car or worse. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I mean, the quality of the driving in this country now is unbelievably bad. You forget about yourself. You've got to watch out for other people. You know that I'm an economical driver, okay? I tend to be on the inside lane, which is not called the slow lane, it's the inside lane. The inside lane of motorways or A roads or something like that. I'm there on the left doing 50, 55 mile an hour. And these bloody great big lorries and cars, to be fair, come up right behind you when there are other lanes free. And instead of passing you, they decide to sit right up your arse. It's ridiculous. Dreadful driving. I think we should have cameras in the back there, I think. Well, you can get those now, can't you? The dashboard cameras. Most people have got them in front. I've seen some people with them in the back as well, which is probably a good idea. Maybe I'll do something like that. 1 moment, please. Just referring back to my notes. Good morning to you, Todd. Good morning to you, Todd. Joining us. Juan is there. Good morrow to you, sir. LaBelle hasn't had that tea, but I'm sure somewhere in the city there may be some of my favourite is peppermint tea. LaBelle, I'm going to do you a favour. Now, if you can give me an address by private message, okay? Preferably not yours, because I could be an axe murderer. And if you give me your personal address, I may jump on a plane with an axe in my bag, undetected, through the security people, even when I'm patted down, and arrive at your house and put an axe in your head. I could be someone like that. Okay? So prefer not to have your personal address. But if you've got perhaps the address of somewhere where I could send you some Twinings English breakfast tea at my expense, at my expense, then I would be happy to send that to you, okay? I don't do that for everyone. I'd like you to sample that. And also, do you need tea bags or can you have normal loose leaf tea? Would you prefer tea bags or loose leaf tea? Let me know, please. Thank you. Good morning to Robert Dexter. Good morning, young Roberts. Look very, very smart in your younger years, I must say. Bob is in the Shrewsbury area. Good morning to you. Michael is also a tea drinker. Yorkshire tea is my go-to now. Used to drink coffee. That's when I used to smoke cigarettes. Yeah, I don't smoke either. I used to smoke 20 fags a day. I did. That's ages, like 30 years ago now. Long time ago now. But, yeah, Yorkshire tea is very good as well. Nothing wrong with Yorkshire tea. Morning to Vectis Humphreys, who said lorries are limited to 56 mile an hour, so can't get past economical drivers. So get stuck behind them for miles. Oh, well, what a shame. Too bad. Never mind. Besides, how fast are you driving that dust cart of yours? Blimey. Vectis is a bin man. Sorry, what is the correct term for you? No, it's not bin man. Rubbish. We called them rubbish man in cuts. Oh, here comes Vectis, the rubbish man. I bet you get pulled up in court for that. Is that a hate crime? Is it a hate crime? I was having this conversation with the drag acts last night at work, actually. The drag with no name. He puts on a damn good professional show. That's all I had last night. Drag with no name, if you want to look her up on the internet. Really, really good show. And her first number, she come on as Madonna, you know, with the thing over. But she did a parody of the Eurovision Song Contest. And she come on with that, you know, the hoodie down over her face. And it was playing. Dun, 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 and then she started singing, "Life is a mess," completely out of tune. Just like Madonna did at the Eurovision Song Contest. Ba 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 ba. You know the one, eh? It was excellent, actually. Really, really good show she did last night, so that was nice. I have to say, both journeys fairly easy into work. Both the one coming down on Friday night from the north and the one from Bracknell to London last night. Very easy journeys in last night, probably because that football thing was on. There's some big football match on last night, which I find incredibly boring football. I'm sorry, don't like football. There's nothing actually that makes me grab the remote control and turn over. Well, you know you're watching the news. I watch the news a lot. I'm always watching the news. And now the sports news, off. That's it, gone. I have no interest in hearing about who's kicked the latest ball into the net. Or the cricket scores, which no one understands. You know, 430 for 3 not out. What else does that mean? What does that mean? 430 for 17 not out with 17 runs. Don't know what that means, I'm afraid. No idea what that means. So that's the sports news. LaBelle's going to be in her birthday suit. There we go. Vectis. It's refuse disposal operatives. That's what he's called. He is a refuse disposal operative. That's Vectis. Vectis. Morning to Diane Jeb joining us this morning. Juan says, do they use the tactic of driving up someone in the left lane to purposefully make them speed up in an area being monitored by the police? No, I don't think they do that. I don't think they do that. But yes, we do have a lot of average speed areas now where they have many cameras. The worst one is there's one up north actually, which goes on for miles actually. They have many cameras in a given length of road, and if you speed up anywhere, it will detect it. It measures you averagely. Very clever, really. So there's not. I don't. There's a lot. I don't. I never speed. Never speed. Never speed that at all. Okay. Good. I did manage to get down to the swimming pool on Friday. I'm pleased to tell you. And yesterday as well. I went yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon as well to the swimming pool. But Friday I went to the swimming pool at Boston. And you remember I said to you, it would be a lot cheaper for me to sign up. I'm already signed up down here to a swimming pool, 46 quid a month. I could sign up there, £29 a month as well. And I keep telling myself, well, you know, I don't really want to be signed up to 2. On the other hand, every time I go, there's 3 swimming pools up north. I've told you this before. Okay, so I can choose whichever one I go to. But mainly, I go to the one at Boston. Most of the time, I go to the one at Boston. Now, to sign up there, it's £29 a month. If I go pay as you go, it's £7.50. So you can see, I'd only need to go 4 times, and I would have made my money. So 750 times 4 is 14.50. That's 30 quid. So I'd only have to go once a week, and I'd save £1. More likely, I would go to the Boston one twice a week, so I'd be saving £31. So I think it's probably better that I sign up, don't you? What would you do? So it's to pay as you go, £7.50 or £29 a month. When I'm up north, I can sometimes go swimming 4 times in a week. In fact, I have done. You know, usually I'll go at least 3 times. I think I went 3 times. No, I didn't, because I was doing a lot last week, wasn't I? I think I only went once last week. Did I go once or twice? No, twice. I went twice. So I went twice. So I would have made me money. I think it's probably better to go on the old direct debit thing there and sign up, to be honest. Talking to direct debits, my old energy supplier, the one that I've just left, remember I told you about them? Outfoxed the market. Dreadful. Took them 3 months to process and send me a refund of about 120 quid because it was so much in credit. Well, of course, I've changed energy suppliers now, and I immediately, as soon as the change was complete, I cancelled the direct debit. Christ, aren't they to you as quick as possible? You know, once you've done that, blimey. The next day, Outfox the market. Oh, we've noticed you've cancelled your direct debit. They were straight on it. Straight on it, mate. Oh, dear. I sent them a message saying, yes, that's because I've now switched energies. Must be some automatic thing that sends it out. I don't know. But dreadful company to deal with. Outfoxthemarket.com. Energy supplier. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. I had a bit of computer trouble. Oh, any messages? Let me see. Rob Shaggy Kershaw, good morning to you. It's the M62 and M1, Chris, that has loads of average speed cameras for miles. It's not the only roads, to be fair there, Rob. There's some up north. I think it's the A1M. The A1M have a long part of... Oh, hang on a minute. The roadworks. It might have been the roadworks, which have now gone. It's so much quicker travelling up north now. They've completed a bit of the road that's been going on for a couple of years, I think. Is it completed now? I think they've removed them now. But there was a long part of the road. So you're on this road for about 10 minutes, okay? And the speed cameras just went on and on and on all the way up it. But it doesn't make any difference to me, as I say, because I really don't speed anymore. I don't. Yes, Juan, are you surprised to go 4 times swimming a week? It don't help you lose the weight, though. Still a fat bastard. It doesn't. It's what you eat. Exercise is all very good, but when I was going to Slimming World, I always remember the lady who was in charge of the Slimming World told me, you know, exercise is fantastic. Keep it up. But on its own, you won't lose weight. You've got to do something about the food you're eating. I mean, it's like yesterday. I had 2 Magnum ice creams yesterday. 2! Oh, they were delicious. White chocolate. And then Friday night, my manager at Central Station, he was walking around with this half-eaten macaroni cheese. And I'm like, what's that? He said, oh, it's macaroni cheese. Do you want it? I said, well, it's half-eaten. And he said, yeah, I don't want the rest of it. I said, well, I don't know about that. I don't look all night. You can go on, try it. Oh, no, I don't want it. No, go on, try it. So he gave it to me, complete with the fork that he'd been using. You know, it wasn't a new fork. And I just took it and I had a little... Oh, do you know, that's quite nice. It was very spicy. I do like spicy food, don't you? It was really spicy, this stuff. And I sat there and had the lot. Macaroni cheese. And I'm like, well, did you order it yourself then? Why did you order something you didn't want? This is my manager. He said, no, what had happened... He said, if you look round the edge, it's slightly... just a slight bit of burning round the edge. So when it came down, they wouldn't give it to a customer because they like it to be perfect, which is fair enough. So, of course, they got that available to be eaten by staff, namely me. Very, very nice. Macaroni cheese. Oh, so delicious. Let's who's this now? Let's just a moment. Good morning to Javid. A very good morning to you, Javid. Morning to you, sir. Good morning to Sean Wilkie. That's a great name, Wilkie. Not Winky. Wilkie. Winky, Winky, Winky. That's what you're saying. You're as funny as hell. Maybe it's the accent or your face. What do you mean, my face? What's funny about my face? How rude are you? I can't stop laughing. I should be on Facebook as well because I'm pretty funny without trying. Well, I keep telling my sister to do her own show. You know, you've only got to look at her and you burst into laughter. He's in the USA. So drive on, though. I do have 2 Big Brother winners from the UK on my Twitter. Big Brother? Big Brother, you're having a laugh in your Big Brother. We don't watch Big Brother, dear. Trash television. We don't watch that. Or I'm going to. Do you know what I'm going to do for you next week? I'm going to. If it's started yet, I'm not sure if it's started yet. I'm going to sample the new Love Island for you. You know, they've got like nobody's on there. Nobody's. I know you're thinking I'm going to make a guest appearance on you. I know. I'm not going to be on. I'm sorry to have to tell you this. I'm not going to be on Love Island. Aren't you devastated? I am. They said, could you please, hello, is this ITV2? Yes, can I help you? Would you like to be on Love Island? And I said, no, I'm too busy. I'm too busy doing my show in the morning. That's what I said to them. Please, begging me they were, begging me, could please take your top off and put a little pair of tight shorts on and be on Love Island. I said, no, how will I do my show in the morning? And they said, oh, if you get up early. I said, you must be having a laugh. Well, that awful lot that you have in there, shouting and screaming and swearing and sleeping with each other. Dreadful, ghastly, awful programme. No, I'm not going to be on Love Island. So I'm afraid Big Brother is the same. Awful programme. Trash television made for people with, by people with absolutely no talent whatsoever other than they're pretty. And how long does that last for? You know, I'm quite lucky myself. You know, I've managed to remain good looking for 50 years now. 56 years, in fact. You know, I came out of my mother, and they didn't even have to bath me. I was just beautiful when I came out. There was no blood, no poo, nothing on me at all. I came out a perfect human being, and I still am, as you can see in front of you now. Love Island, please. Juan says the body is a temple. Will enter me any time. Yes. What's that, Vectis, you're saying there? It's his face? Let's have a look. Chris, I find they, much like many are supposedly fat on their bodies, though they exercise. No, it's not water retention, Juan. It's what you eat, dear. You've got to be careful what you eat. If you eat what Slimming World tell you to eat, you will lose weight. I guarantee. If you don't go on Slimming World and tell me, Chris, I went on that Slimming World. I didn't lose any weight. That's because you cheated. Oh no, I just had I just had one sausage roll. Well, you've cheated. It's like my sister and her husband. They make me die. They're on a carb-free diet, right? So for a couple of days, they'll be on the carb-free diet. And then I'll ring up my sister. Like, all right, sis, how are you? She said, oh, I've been naughty. Oh, what have you done? Oh, I've just had a sandwich. Well, you're not on a carb-free diet then. You've got to stick to it, dear. It's like speed. It's like when you're on the road, dear. So back to the cars again. When you're on the road, you know, and you're doing 30 mile an hour, and then you suddenly put your foot down for a minute and do 40 in a 30 mile an hour zone. You know, the policeman comes up, stop, excuse me, sir. So, you know, you can't then say to him, yeah, but I only did 40 mile an hour for 1 minute. Therefore, I shouldn't get the fine. Do you know what I mean? You got to stick to it. Morning to Martin Edwards. A very good morning to you, Martin. Mike, the M27 down here is the yellow Vulture speed cameras. They keep everyone's speed at 50. Yeah, I mean, I've got you. I think, to be honest, as you get older, although this hasn't happened to Vectis, looking at his posts there, as you get older, you do slow down. I was talking to my brother-in-law, Martin, about this. He slowed down as well, in when you were driving in the car and that. Really, and it doesn't bother me. It honestly doesn't bother me. I come through London and I get on whatever motorway, either the M3 or the M4 or the M25 or the A1M, depending on where I'm going. And I pull over into that left lane and I put the automatic, what's that thing called? What's that thing called? You push the button and it carries on at the right speed, that thing. And I put that on 52 mile an hour maybe. And I'll just sit there and I watch the nutters going past me. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's have a look. Good morning to Adrian Richardson. He was in the pub last night. Did you enjoy the show last night, Adrian? You look like you were having a good time in there. Nice to see you, sir. We're looking very happy on that table with our friends as well. With him as well. He was there, weren't he? Okay. Let's have a look. LaBelle, my body is... you got to say that at your got to say that on one of your shows. Do you do live, LaBelle, or you just we call them mime acts? There's nothing wrong with it. It's just another way of doing shows. Are you a live act or a mime act? I don't know whether you call it mime over there. Where you lip sync. Are you a lip sync act, or do you do everything, or both, or nothing? I don't know. I'm not quite sure what you do, darling. Morning to Michael Lawrence, joining us late this morning. Good morning, Michael. Juan says, "You're like me. We are both big boned." Something about boning, anyway, dear. Cruise control. Thank you, Adrian. Cruise control. That's that button on the steering wheel, isn't it? That you're pushing. It just goes along itself. My new car, incidentally, has got steering assist as well. So if you kind of go, if you're on a motorway, it's very clever. If you're on a motorway, and sometimes you must always pay full attention when you're in the car. Sometimes you don't, and you might sort of stray slightly over to the right, and the steering wheel tries to pull you back. I mean, it's quite easy to overcome, but you can certainly feel a resistance there on the steering wheel if you're not quite in the middle of the lane, and it tries to pull you back in there. Very good. If you hold it, really, you can't let go of the steering wheel because it then tells you to take the steering wheel. And if you don't, the automatic system switches off and you'll be all over the blooming road. But if you hold it lightly, you can actually feel the steering wheel pulling you backwards and sideways. It's very, very clever. Very clever indeed. Adrian, does not bother you, just poor truck drivers trying to deliver your English tea. No, not really. I'd just like to stick at a sensible speed, Vectis. I'm not a dangerous driver. I mean, if I can just imagine, I bet all the bins on the Isle of Wight are emptied within 10 minutes at the speed you go at. I mean, do you even have time to put the rubbish in the back of the car? You can't wait to get there, can you? Slow down, dear. Shania, is your dad... I bet your dad's a slow driver. He's just winding me up, isn't he? That's what he's doing. He's winding me up. That's what he's doing. I had a little bit of computer trouble last night. This may help you if you've got a laptop, okay? If you've got a laptop... So I went into work, set up the computer, pushed the start button, and I saw it started whirring around. And then I did something. I looked back and, screen's not on. And sometimes it can take a little while to start up if you've closed it down, kind of ready to do an update or something like that. So I'd ignore that. Anyway, 5 minutes later, the screen is still blank. I thought, push the button again, nothing. I thought, oh, God. Not a computer problem, because all my music comes off the computer, with no CDs or anything like that anymore. And I'm pushing this button. Oh, nothing. So I'm pushing it and holding it now. Nothing. I thought, oh, God. Computer's gone wrong. So, got my spare computer out. Went all the way back to the car, because I couldn't park near the venue last night. So it was I say all the way back to the car. It's about a 5-minute walk. It's not far. Got the spare computer out, brought it in, and on the way back I suddenly remembered I had a similar problem about 15 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago. I remember trying something and I thought, this isn't working, and for some reason, I took the battery off the computer and then tried to start it up, obviously with it plugged into the mains, and that worked. I thought, I wonder. So it's a... What maker's laptop is this? It's a HP laptop that I've got, my main work computer. So I took the battery off, and it worked. It worked. So I don't know if something dies in the battery or goes wrong with the battery, or maybe it wasn't on properly, I don't know, but it certainly wouldn't start up, and it started up on the mains, and everything worked perfectly, no problems at all. You could say, oh, what if the mains goes off? Well, if the mains goes off, everything will go off, wouldn't it? The lights, the fridges, the whole lot, so we're closed. So that works. So if you ever get a laptop that won't start up for some reason, then take the battery off and try it again. Because I think if you've got a damaged battery or an expired battery perhaps, it seems to stop the laptop coming on at all. So remove it and go mains only. Interestingly enough, of course, I got back here last night after work, and while I was doing my dinner, I thought, right, let's have a look at this computer. And I put the battery back on, and it started. Okay, so I did that a couple of times last night and then shut it down. And this morning I've turned it on again and it's working properly again. So perhaps the battery wasn't quite on, or somehow it was shorting out. I don't know what was going on there, but very strange and mysterious indeed. Daddy's a very good driver, says Shania. Is that right? Does he go slow? He doesn't do 70 mile an hour on the motorway. That's far too fast here. Far too fast. Vectis, not surprised you wander in the lane driving that slow. You must fall asleep. No, I don't fall asleep on that motorway because I don't listen to your radio show, Vectis. If I did, I might do. Are you on this afternoon, incidentally, sir? LaBelle works in theatre. Triple threat. But in drag, I prefer to mime, okay? It makes it so much easier to pick and choose numbers to do. Also, the things I like to sing don't have karaoke tracks. Do you sing popular songs like I Will Survive and that sort of thing? I think some of the older drag acts that I work with are kind of stuck in that past. Very, very different. Very different. I'm not a massive fan of the RuPaul's Drag Act. Sorry, RuPaul's... What's it called? RuPaul's Drag Race. I only ever saw 10 minutes of one of those. And I thought, what on earth is this? And it was just basically three young, very pretty, really great clothes. And one after the other, they come into this room and say, oh, wow, look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. And I thought, well, what's all this about? It just didn't do it for me at all, that RuPaul's drag race. That being said, it's extremely popular over here with the young people. And it might be an age thing, you know. I'm just stuck in the past. It's stuck in the past. That's me now. Stuart Skinner, good morning. Wishing you a lovely Super Sunday. It's beautiful here so far. Please check your calendar. Oh, it looks like it could still be May. Oh! I thought I'd changed that. I did change that. I think the staples come out. Oh, this incidentally is the greatest entertainer of all time. The great Barry Manilow. We bow down. In your holy name. Let me get my gun stapler. One moment, please. I did... the staples come out. That's what's happened. 1 minute. Thank you very much for spotting that, Stuart Skinner. Thank you. 1 moment. Oh, there we are. Hey, look. Ah, that's what happened. There he's got his... the great Barry Manilow. I think he's 73. Look. Staple come out. Let us dispose of that before we step on it. Don't you hate it if you're out somewhere? You must get this, LaBelle. You know when you're in a theatre or a pub or something and they put up stuff with a gun stapler, okay? But when they take it down, they don't remove the metal staples completely. And you run your hand over that, or you can do yourself terrible damage with your hands. You know, it's usually like if you've got like something on top like that and people just staple it on and then they rip the thing off and all the staples are sticking up like that. Never, ever run your hand across any top things like that if you're in a pub or a club or a theatre, because that's how they do it. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you very much. Sean Wilkie. So we're all here and can get a response. Not cool. Get on my station. I talk to all. You talk to all as much as you want, Sean. That's what you need to do, okay? Adrian, thanks to your compliment last night. It was very nice of you. That's all right. I'm a very nice person. I am a nice person. Don't worry about that. Okay? Good morning to Dino. Morning, Dino. Dino in the house today. Juan, this is not ever going to happen. What, you turning up in London? I'm sure you will at some point. I'm sure you will. Mike Rees-Ponto, I've had Windows computers for years, now switched to Apple. Yes, many people have told me to switch over to Apple, but you see, you buy into a system. And to switch over to an Apple, that's a lot of replacement to do, so I don't think it will ever happen. It's not going to happen. Vectis Humpty on the radio, 1 till 4 on 104.6 FM on the Isle of Wight, and of course, online. You see, he's got a little link there. He's got a little link that you can listen to Vectis, who is with us this morning between 1 and 4. If you like this show, you'll like his. It's like this, but with music. He's very, very good. Often he has his daughter on there, Shania, and his boy Callum turns up sometimes, and they're all on the radio. All right? Humpty was spotted yesterday in town. How wonderful that happens. I do hope that will happen one day for me. My brother-in-law has always been... He's got thousands of views on his videos. Thousands, dear. Thousands. Sean, what is this? Is this guy not reading our chats? Are you not hearing me mentioning your chat, Sean? If you're upset... Is that what's going on? Sean says, are you not hearing your little things being read out, dear? I don't know what you're going on about there, to be honest. There we are. Okay, so that's the computer trouble. Let's have a look there. Oh, Ronnie came round yesterday afternoon. We watched the last episode of Dynasty. Fantastic. End of Series 2, and there is going to be a Series 3, I'm glad to say. It looks like Fallon's boyfriend, I think they've just got, no, they were going to get married. It looks like he's dead, falling into the pool. There was a lot of cliffhangers in that programme last night. Really good. Dynasty, end of Series 2. I'm going to miss that on a Saturday. I don't know what we're going to do on a Saturday. I've done some chips and some baked beans in the oven as well. Incidentally, those of you that have been following my internet story on Virgin Media, you remember I was paying £53 a month. Yesterday, the speed dropped down from 350 meg to 100 meg, and the upload has gone from 20 meg to about 5 meg. So we've changed speeds now in order to save 25, in order to save £28 a month. Okay, so I'm now on the much lower speed, and I don't think it's made any difference at all, has it? I should have done that years ago. I've been throwing money away, dear. So I'm paying only 20, it's either 24 or £25 a month now. So that's much better. That's very acceptable. Very acceptable. So I've dropped my speed, and I'll be honest, I've noticed no difference whatsoever. You know, the pictures still come in. What a waste of money that was. No one needs 350 meg. Talking of internet stuff and all that business, they've launched 5G now in some parts of the UK. London EE switched on their 5G on Friday, wasn't it? And the BBC did some broadcast on their breakfast fair. The picture cut off. They got cut off. Apparently, what happened is that they ran out of data. This bloke, there he is on the camera, and they were chatting away, and suddenly it just all went blank. He got him back on about half an hour later, and apparently they've got a little card and they have to buy data. I didn't know that. I thought BBC just be able to use it and as such. No, they were using a data card. Can't believe it. Did you watch it? 5G. There's all sorts of theories going on about that, how it can damage your body if you get too close to it and stuff like that. I don't know if it's difficult to know, really. I certainly wouldn't want a 5G mast above my house, put it that way. But you've got to have a lot of transmitters with 5G, haven't you? They're hidden in all sorts of places like lampposts and all sorts of things. Very, very expensive. Do we need it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think I've got a use for it. On the other hand, often you find things that are invented, and at the time you think, oh, it's not, won't be using that for anything. And then something comes along where you do use it. Take, for example, 4G. I mean, the 4G signal I've got up at my caravan, that's how you watch the show, through 3. That's the mobile phone company. 3 4G. There's no wires. There's no bog standard internet connection with a cable. All comes to you over 4G. That works perfectly as well. So why do I need 5G, you know? Morning to Maureen, joining us this morning. Good morning, Maureen. You're right, darling. We got here quite early today, Maureen. 1 second, my darling. Juan, I can't read out all your messages. There's too many coming, mate. All right? I have to pick and choose. Otherwise, we never get to the end of it. Let's have a look. LaBelle, where are you there? LaBelle, well, I'm 42, so in between when it comes to music. Musical theatre, 50s, 60s and 70s, baby. Does some current songs. Okay, musical theatre, 50s, 60s and 70s. I like Motown. Do you like Motown? I'm a big fan of Motown. I love Motown. Absolutely. Beautiful. Just a minute. Okay. All right, let's get rid of you. Just being rude here. Right. And gone. Lovely jubbly. Juan says, here in America, there is a big war in Congress to allow T-Mobile and Sprint to combine their communication apparatus so they can have 5G coverage all over the union. I just don't know about that 5G business. I really don't. I certainly don't need it at the moment, you know. But maybe something will come along. You never know. Good. Right. Let's do some news stories this morning. Anyone of you into football, incidentally? I gather that your picture wasn't good last night. I was watching Facebook while I was at work last night. There's a few people saying, is anyone having trouble watching the television? And it's in the Daily Mail this morning. I'm not a football fan at all. A lot of blokes like the football. My 2 nephews love football. And in the Daily Mail this morning, it says, many football fans have been treated to live coverage of the Champions League final on YouTube this year, but it appears the quality of the free stream isn't up to scratch. As well as being broadcast on BT Sport, the clash between Liverpool and Tottenham, I think that was the big match last night, wasn't it, are also freely available on their YouTube channel in 4K. However, fans have been complaining of a strange ghosting effect which made the match almost unwatchable. And there's like a picture of the match that someone obviously took off the telly last night. And it's like, it would be like, how can I explain it? It would be like watching me with perhaps a bit of frosted glass in front of me. It's awful, the picture. How anyone can watch that at all, I don't know. And it goes here, streaming quality of Champions League final on YouTube is atrocious, wrote one viewer on Twitter. BT Sport really need to sort it out. So was it the same on BT Sport? Those of you that have got the BT Sport, was it just the same? What do they do? Take their feed off YouTube? Surely not. Surely not. This is why huge sporting events should be free to air on TV. And of course they used to be. Before Sky came along, we never paid for anything on the telly. Really. It was all free. Either on the BBC, paid by licence fee, or of course on ITV, supported by commercials and adverts. That sort of thing. I don't see... I just remember everything was free, whether it was football or boxing or cricket or tennis or films that you wanted to watch, all free on the telly. As Sky came along and they would say, go to football people and say, well, how much did the BBC pay? Oh, it'll pay us £100. We'll give you 200. And of course, the football club, it's just a money-making thing, isn't it? They go to the highest bidder. And that's what goes on. And then to make their money back, then they start charging you to watch the damn thing. It all used to be free. Shame, really, isn't it? The story goes on. It seems that the problems are not down to internet connection speeds either. It says, love that I can watch the Champions League final on YouTube, but this ghosting thing is killing me. Sort it out. I have fibre optic broadband. So it wasn't the people's internet connections. It was something to do there. BT Sport buys exclusive rights to Champions League finals, it says. Streams it for free in 4K on YouTube. It looks like this. Great job, someone said sarcastically. So I don't know. Did you watch the football last night, and was it bad for you? Has anyone got BT Sport? How is that? Don't know how that is. Morning to Rowan. Morning, Rowan. He's one of our karaoke singers. I know who you are. Morning, Rowan. Loves the karaoke at Central Station every week. Also, since you said musicals, West Side Story is incredible. Oh, I heard the theme music. Tara's theme. That was being played on classical music station Scala Radio Friday night after work. I just happened to flick it on. I usually listen to Nick Abbott unless he starts going on and on and on about Brexit. And he does my head in. It's a shame because he's such a good, humorous talk radio host. But he really gets into this Brexit and Donald Trump thing. And that's all he talks about. And it's just a shame because he was so good. I used to listen to him every single week. And I always put him on just as I leave work. And I can put up with the whole Brexit thing for about 10 minutes and then I have to turn over. I thought, I was just going over the same old crap time and time again. Brexit. Give it a rest. It was a couple of weeks ago we did this thing on renewable energy, which I found absolutely fascinating. I'm really into that renewable energy. I've got solar panels here, although the electric solar panels have been perfectly all right for years now. The solar panel that makes water, I've had to turn off. It started leaking, and it's very expensive to replace. And quite honestly, I don't spend much money at all heating water. In fact, I'm going to find out exactly how much money I've spent heating water because now I've turned that solar panel off. I literally had to turn the water off. The water was pouring out of the panel, so I know something's burst in there or whatever. So obviously we're not using heating now. So over the next few months, I will work out exactly how much money I'm spending heating water. And I bet it's going to be just a few pounds. You know, if that's all it is, a few pounds a month to heat water, to spend anything upwards of £500 to fix that solar panel is just a waste of money. Never going to make that back, am I? Just silly. Madness. Let's have a look there. Michael Lawrence, 5G is only good for internet. Yes, and they want to connect all sorts of things to it as well, don't they? Like cars. And I don't quite know why you want your fridge connected to the internet, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. Perhaps it reorders stuff that I don't do shopping online, you see. I never do the shopping online. I like to get my little basket and go walk around the supermarket and have a look at stuff. You know, because there's something new in there that you might want to try, isn't there, in the supermarket? When you sit there behind your computer, type in what you usually have, it's just boring, isn't it? Boring, really. The bell does 60s through to 80s. Diana Ross is an impersonation show. Oh, you don't do the boss, do you? I love the boss. Can be alright. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. You was all ba 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 ba. Da da da. Oh, I love it, the boss. Have you got the 12-inch single of that one, the bell? Oh, I love it. That bit where she starts screaming in the middle of it, doesn't she? Diana Ross. I wish she'd come over here and do a concert. I'd love to go and see Diana Ross. Steve Allen is good. He's on about 4 a.m. Yes, he's very, very good on LBC, Steve Allen. And he's got many, many different subjects to choose to talk about, hasn't he, as well? He has, you know, so that kind of works for me, Steve Allen. But Nick Abbott, I just wish he'd stop going on and on about Brexit all the time. On and on he does. He goes on about it. Let's thank you, Juan, for that comment there. Let's have a look. Good. Have we got another story to do here? Let's do another story here. This could be good news for Apple users. Got a little Apple iPhone 8. Oh, hang on, I've got a little message. Your screen time is down 90%. You see, do you do that screen time thing? Right, look. Oh, that's my sister, by the way. She's my. You thought I'd have a half-naked bloke on my screensaver, didn't you? It's my sister. You can't see that, can you? Oh, yes, you can. Look, there we are. Weekly report available. So it says here, my screen time was down 19% last week. It says I'm on here for an average of 5 hours, 44 minutes a day, looking at the bloody phone. I've got to cut that down. Got to. Do you know what I think I need to do? Put the phone in another room. I think a lot of that's to do with when I'm watching the television. I'm sure it is, because you keep picking up the damn phone. I've got to put it in another room when I'm watching the television. Otherwise you lose. I tell you what, if you weren't paying full attention to Dynasty yesterday, you wouldn't have known what was happening. There was a lot going on, that Dynasty. Do you watch Dynasty? Who watches Dynasty on Netflix? Or whatever it is in whatever country you're on there. I do not know. Morning to Chris Cross. Morning, Chris. Hello. Hello, Chris. I have solar panels on my roof, and you may not think you save money, but over a year you'll save because you won't need to use the central heating to heat your water. That's a lot more expensive. I don't think, Chris, that I use much gas at all heating water. For every 2 days, okay, I can push my little boiler button for 10 minutes. That's all. 10 minutes. Then I turn it off. If you push it and leave it, it comes on for an hour. I push it off 10 minutes and I turn it off again, and it's got perfectly hot water, and that lasts for 2 days. I honestly don't think I use much of that. Really, this is the solar panels that heats only water. It's just the water one. I have water ones and electricity ones. The water one is the one that's broken. I can't see it, but we'll find out. We'll find out over the next 3 or 4 months or so. I will be able to tell exactly how much I spend on heating water, because obviously we're not using the central heating at the moment. All right, LaBelle does the boss. Oh wow. Miss Ross is on world tour for her 75th birthday. Is she really? Or maybe she's coming here. Maybe she'll come here. I hope it won't be too expensive for the tickets, though. They can be very, very expensive. Right, Apple news. Apple is set to unveil, this is in the Daily Mail again, a slew of new software updates, and it goes on about various updates and things. Here's the thing that caught my eye. Apple could see the end of some older software like iTunes. Oh, thank God for that. Got to be one of the most complicated pieces of software ever. iTunes. I hate it. I cannot get on with iTunes. You know, before I had an Apple phone, it was so easy. You know, if you wanted to put music on your phone, you just plugged it into your computer. You got your music files on there. You drag and drop into the music file. Done. So easy. This isn't with Android phones. I gather it's as easy as that. My nephew was telling me that. Literally, you plug it into your computer. You got your music files on your computer. Oh, I put some of those on the phone. Drag, drop, drag, drop, drag, drop. So easy. Not with iTunes. Oh, Christ. You got to add file and then synchronize phone. Oh, Jesus. If they're getting rid of that iTunes, I will be very happy, as long as they replace it with something that's a lot simpler. Anyone else feel? How do you feel about iTunes? Don't you find that an incredibly complicated piece of software? And then I think I've deleted stuff because you get fed up with music sometimes, so you delete it, and it's still on there. Can't work it out at all. So good news about Apple. They think they might be launching a folding phone as well. But lots of bits and pieces they're going to do. You'll probably have a new operating system next week, possibly. They're going to they're certainly announcing it next week. iOS 13 should be coming out on Apple next week, for those of you that are technically minded. All right. Adrian says, so you don't do much washing. Is that why you don't have much use of hot water? Incorrect. I did 2 lots of washing yesterday, actually. I'll have you know. Got to take that in a little bit later, because we might have some rain a little bit here later on. Michael finds it easy to use the iTunes. Do you really? Oh, and then LaBelle hates converting the music to MP3. I remember doing that with all my CDs. One after the other, shoving them in the machine, converting them to MP3. Then you'd have to name them and title them. And if you didn't give it the right dash, sort of, I don't know, Britney Spears, space, dash, space, baby one more time. If I didn't do it exactly like that, it wouldn't be able to find it. What a nightmare that was. Converting to MP3, weren't it, eh? Cool, dear me. Dreadful, dreadful. Good. One more story then. In the Daily Mirror this morning, why you should never eat a pink burger. Now, I know some of you like to eat dead animals. It's not meat. It's a dead animal. Remember that. Remember that when you go to the farms and you see the happy little lambs running around. Oh, look at the lambs, aren't they cute? And then you kill one and eat one. What's all that about, gang? But I know some of you do like to eat dead animals. And I know some of you like to have things like steak that are not particularly well cooked. What's that called? Rare steak. So it's still pink. Still got blood coming out of it. Oh, bleh, bleh. Well, in the Daily Mirror this morning, it says, everyone knows you can eat a steak rare. So many people assume they can also have burgers pink. But you're wrong. Very dangerous. He says, yeah, I think they're done. You can eat beef rare anyway, so it can be fine. No, most of us have ever said or overheard this at some point, especially when it comes to the summer and we all dust off the barbecues. We're having a laugh at your barbecues. Oh, what a pain. Not in this country. No one uses barbecues in this country. Very few people do. In Australia, they're very big, but it's just a complete pain, isn't it? I think I had a throwaway barbecue once, something you bought from the supermarket. You know, it's like a metal thing like that with charcoal in it. Oh, you're trying to light that? Are you serious? When I can go downstairs and put the grill on in the kitchen? I don't think so. Burgers and sausages are staples of any outdoor feast. And even if you have some fancier options on offer, you still can't skip the basics. But according to food experts, we need to be extra careful when cooking burgers. Everyone knows you can eat a steak rare, so surely it's the same for burgers, right? No, wrong, according to the Daily Mirror. It turns out it's actually a very different story, and eating one which hasn't been cooked thoroughly can cause serious food poisoning. I've had serious food poisoning from burgers. Many, many years ago, I think the electricity went off on the freezer and came on again at some point. But I didn't chuck the stuff away. And I had some burgers. Oh my God, I was ill that night. It was awful, awful. It's different in restaurants as they can put strict controls on the way burgers are cooked. But we can't do this when we're cooking on the barbecue. According to the Food Standards Agency here in the UK website, burgers which are served rare or undercooked may contain harmful bacteria. Release the bacteria. Release the bacteria. Sorry, that's from Doctor Who and the Daleks with Peter Cushing. They say, release the bacteria. Anyway, these burgers can contain harmful bacteria which can make you very ill. It explains harmful bacteria can be carried on the surface of whole cuts of meat. Where a rare steak is seared, these bacteria are killed, making the steak safe to eat. This is the sort of informative part of it. When meat is minced to produce burgers, any harmful bacteria from the surface of the raw meat spread throughout the burger. Of course, then it's frozen. So you've locked in the bacteria. Unless the burger is cooked right through, these bacteria can remain alive on the inside. You are eating bugs. Let me ask you, would you go outside, put your hand and pick up a load of cockroaches and shove them in your mouth? No. Unless, of course, you're in China where they eat anything. Cats, dogs, cockroaches, lice, everything. Be very careful what you eat in China. This applies to all burgers, including burgers made from good quality or expensive meat. That's why a burger needs to be served well done, while a steak can be served rare. So do be very careful. Don't eat a pink burger. Talking of eating insects, actually, they do that in many countries, you know. You can buy a scorpion like as a lolly and things like that. It's just what they eat. It does make me laugh. I have to say, I am always thinking people who, certainly in this country, they sit there and, it's terrible. They eat dogs and cats in China. Oh, it's terrible. The Chinese are terrible. And then they sit down to a lamb or a chicken. Same bloody thing. And you can, oh, no. Well, dogs are trained. You know, we shouldn't be eating dogs. It's exactly the same. An animal is an animal. If you're going to eat an animal, whether it be a dog, cat, chicken, lamb, cow, all the same. How one can be... I don't understand what goes in someone's mind to think that one is different from the other. So don't complain about Chinese people eating dogs and cats. I might try one myself later. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, Adrian, chocolate cockroaches are very high in protein. Have you had some of those? Oh, no. No, thank you. LaBelle cooks all her burgers all the way through. Good girl. Good girl. Ronan's laughing there, look. The bacteria on the outside are the ones that you need to kill, and because it's mince in a burger, all of it's mixed together. So not all the harmful bacteria are killed. They're still in there, waiting to enter your body, dear. I wish someone would enter mine, to be honest. LaBelle likes her steak medium rare, but it needs to be dead. If it's still pink, I say it's still mooing. Moo! Oh, did you watch Pose? Did you watch Pose? I can't remember now, LaBelle. There was one bit where there was a judge on the stage and someone had done some dance or something, and the judge says, "Excuse me, were you born in a zoo? Because you need to move right on." You could use that in one of your shows. Ladrin says most people eat beef burgers and not lamb, but they do lamb burgers, don't they? They do actually do lamb burgers. I've seen those as well. Morning, John Parrish, and good morning to Weird City Citizen. Good morning to you. All right, LaBelle, it's just because we don't think it's appetising doesn't mean it's not good to others. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Vectis is not surprised, not throwing that food out. Think of the waste. Oh, you must see a lot of waste in your dust cart. People throwing away food. I hate it when people walk away from meals in restaurants. I think that's awful. They walk away. I saw it the other day when I was out with my mate Tom. We were in a restaurant, and and they weren't young. You know, they were probably older than us actually. Old couple got up and left half the food on their plates. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Good morning to Jason Carter. Morning, Michael Lawrence. Did you watch Years and Years? Yes, I've got into it now. I stuck with it, and I've got into it. I've watched, is it 3 episodes? So I've watched all 3 now, and I've just got some interesting viewing there. Some very, very interesting viewing. It's about, what it would be like in the future, and someone got a little cut and died from the cut. None of the antibiotics work anymore, and we're on the way there. They keep telling us that in the news, don't they? Right, let's do today's birthdays. I'll do yesterday's birthdays as well today, because, of course, we weren't here yesterday. Happy birthday on this Sunday, the 2nd of June, 2019, to Rick Abbey. Good morning, Rick, 36 years old today. Happy birthday to Rick. John True. Good morning, John. John is a very, very good friend of mine. He used to come along to the karaoke at Belushi's in London Bridge. I think he's been to Central Station twice and various other places I've done it. Lovely chap. Good morning, John. Happy birthday to you. 33 years old today. Happy birthday, John. And George Cox Kriya is 68 years old today. Hello there, George. All right. Happy birthday to you, sir. Birthdays for yesterday. Let me just get those up for you, darlings. Chris Manzar. Good morning, Chris. 49 years old yesterday. So that's Saturday, the 1st of June, 2019. Happy birthday for yesterday, Chris. Also, Laura Ann Richardson, 29 yesterday. We had Lesley Wright. It was her birthday yesterday. Wolfgang, my very, very good German friend. Good morning, Wolfgang. 69 years old yesterday. I remember when you was in the city of Quebec and you told me you'd just become a pensioner when you got to 65, wasn't it? I remember that. Morning, Wolfgang. Long time no see. Happy birthday to you for yesterday, sir. Alex Suzko, 23 years old yesterday. A young 23. Good morning, Alex. Happy birthday. David Hand, his birthday yesterday. Debbie Geese was her birthday yesterday. Peter Giles, 40 years old yesterday. Remember, Peter, life begins at 40, and that is true. That is true. You get to 40, your life really begins. You get to 50, and it's even better. Unbelievable. Todd Carroll was 37 years old yesterday. Morning, Todd. Andy Spiegel. Good morning. Happy birthday for yesterday. Joseph Freeman, 69 yesterday. Danny O'Keefe. Good morning, Danny. Happy birthday for yesterday. Locks yesterday. Michael Lorenzo, 37 on Saturday. Paris King, it was her birthday yesterday. Julie Paré, good morning, Julie. Happy birthday for yesterday. And finally, Zoe Wallace yesterday was 34 years old. That's a lot yesterday and not too many today. So happy birthday, gang. Ooh. sound too good, did it? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, girls and boys. John says it's common here to be offered a doggy bag at most places. Yes, it certainly is. Even when we go to the afternoon teas, John, they always say, would you like us to get some more cakes for you to take home? It's lovely, and they bring a little box or a bag or something like that, and they shove a couple of cakes or scones, which to them cost pennies. But it means a lot. It's a bit of customer service. Very, very good. Adrian can't wait till he gets to 40. Yeah, if you say so, Adrian, dear. If you say so. LaBelle loves Pose. The second season starts on June the 9th, which I saw that. I don't think we're going to get the second season of Pose until next year, to be honest. How do I watch the American station? Is it CBS All Access? Can I watch that station here somehow? How does that work? I've heard of people that can watch like BBC television in Spain and places like that. They got some sort of code or something they put into the computer. I don't know how that works. I'd love to see the new series of Pose. Mike Reese-Ponto says some people are hypocrites. They don't want to think how their meat gets to their plates but are against cruelty to animals. Yeah, that's how a lot of people are. I mean, a lot of people say, I don't want to know. Well, you know. Weird City's going to have to watch the catch-up. Sorry about that. Not with us live. How disappointing. I'll let you off this time. Hello, John True's there. I didn't know you were there, John. Happy birthday to you. Are you away at the moment? I think you're away somewhere, aren't you? I'm sure you're away somewhere at the moment. Happy birthday to you, John. Okay, right, that's it for the show today, gang. Thanks ever so much for joining us. I'm off to church now. I should just have my pills, and I don't need to leave for about 10 minutes or so I can do a little bit of paperwork before I go. It's on FX in America. FX, and they get the BBC there as well. That's all right. Don't worry about being late. John says, eat as much as you like is good too. I normally take a Tupperware container. I don't blow. Oh, you're going to be... The only thing with a Tupperware containers, if it's like a bread product, it can end up getting a bit soggy, can't it? We don't like soggy. Have a lovely Sunday, and hopefully I'll see you again at some point tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching and listening. Cheerio now.